Welcome into the Michigan Football Report. I'm your host, James Yoder, and to those of you who have never watched before, I want to start the show by telling you a little bit about what we do here at the Michigan Football Report. We have daily videos on your beloved Michigan Wolverines football team, rumors and news more than anybody else is going to give you, and live chat and Q&A following every game and throughout the week in the offseason, starting with tomorrow's game against Indiana. So, if this is your first time watching, I want to invite you to go down to the comment section and type N to indicate you're a new viewer. I'm going to go after the show and give you a welcome. I want to get you guys a part of the community. So go type N in the comments if this is your first time watching. We've got a great show coming up for you right now. You guys asked for it. I answered. Some folks are saying, James, you give answer these questions from Twitter and Instagram. What about us here at YouTube? So, I guess it caught me off guard. I guess I never really thought about that. So, here's the questions put on the YouTube community from all of our subscribers. Michael Harris saying, I hope we blow out Indiana and hope we come out swinging against the SUCKEYES and double team Chase Young. Go Blue from Lancaster, Ohio. Thanks so much, Michael Harris, for the question coming in from the YouTube community. Let's take a look to start where Jim Harbaugh has how he's fared against Indiana in his 4 seasons prior to this year against the Hoosiers. It hasn't been easy, folks, right? So you do not even have a single victory of more than 2 scores against an Indiana Hoosiers program that has had, 2 winning seasons in the last 35 years, something like that. So Jim Harbaugh has certainly struggled. I would say this is the team that has given him most struggle outside of the bigger programs in the Big Ten. And then, of course, Notre Dame last year. Double overtime his first season. Overtime in 2017, the last 2 times they've gone to Bloomington, Michigan has gone to overtime with Jim Harbaugh as the head coach. So blowing them out, I think that is a little presumptuous for Michigan fans. And this Indiana team is not a program that we can take lightly going into their house in Bloomington. They are number 31 in the country in total offense, 36 in scoring offense. Better numbers than Michigan, and look at that defense. You usually think, oh, Indiana, they have good offenses here and there, but their defense always stinks. Number 18 in the country, folks, in total defense. Number 32 in scoring defense, only giving up 20 points a game. So these 2019 Indiana Hoosiers, these aren't your big brothers Hoosiers. These aren't your daddy's Hoosiers. This is a new breed of program, and you do have the opportunity to win 10 games in Indiana for the first time in program history if they win out against Michigan in their final game and then win a bowl game. So big opportunity for Indiana to get out of the cellar like they've been into for basically eternity and turn in their first 10-win season. It starts with a victory against the number 12 Michigan Wolverines, which they have not have done, by the way, as you see below at the bottom of your screen, since 1987, 23 straight for the Michigan Wolverines. All right, guys, fill in the blank. Go blank. Those of you watching on YouTube right now might get a commercial, so I'm going to pin this comment below the video down in the comment section. Go fill it in. Go blank. I think we all know what you need to type in right now. Question coming in from Mark Majkowski. Do you think Patterson was injured and maybe fully recovered in the last few weeks? And I think that is a logical take, and I think the injured part, I've been saying about it since week 2. Had a great source that spoke directly to Shea on a daily basis after the first game, going into the Army game. Then a bye week, got blown out by Wisconsin. Shea Patterson was certainly injured, and I was the first one to report it, and 5 weeks later, the guys at the blogs and the local fanboy journalists finally reported it when they were given permission. But Shea Patterson, best game as a Wolverine quarterback, 24 of 33, 384, and 4 touchdowns against a rival. Took out Tom Brady's record for most passing yards against Michigan State for a Michigan football quarterback. And the first time for Shea in a Michigan Wolverine uniform to throw for 300 yards. 7 of 10 starts at Ole Miss in his freshman and sophomore season. He threw for over 300 yards as an Ole Miss quarterback, but took to his 23rd start as Michigan's quarterback to get to that 300-yard mark and went well past it. And I liked what I saw of the offense in a lot of ways this past week with a healthy Shea, and he's probably been healthy for a few games now. I think that Maryland game seemed to be a little bit of an outlier over the past 4 weeks, but a lot of guys got involved. You saw things. I liked how they got Giles Jackson. I like how they got Mike Sainristil still into the offense. And then you saw plays that you haven't seen out of a Michigan football program maybe outside of 2010 with Denard Robinson and Rich Rod. How about that pass to Cornelius Johnson where Shea just rolled out of the pocket like he was going to run on a 3rd and 2 and then waited till the receiver broke away, tossed it, touchdown, Michigan blowout win. So I think Shea's healthy, and as long as he doesn't get hurt against Indiana, he will be very healthy against Ohio State coming up in 8 days. Next question up from Machineunit. Kind of sounds like G-Unit, but I like that one, Machineunit. What will Don Brown do to make sure Michigan doesn't get shredded by crossing routes like they did last year against Indiana and Ohio State? And if you look back to the Indiana game last year, most people thought that Michigan was just going to completely blow out the Hoosiers, and Michigan struggled. The game really was in doubt. It was a close game. Michigan never really had control until the very end. So Don Brown, this game coming up, it's going to tell us a lot about what he's learned in the past year about those crossing routes and about switching up the defense to that just send 5-6 guys to the quarterback, everybody else plays man. The only defensive coordinator, as you see on your screen, ever to give up 30 points 3 straight years to Ohio State in the storied 130 odd plus years as a Michigan football program. So Don Brown has some demons to exercise and to overcome against Ohio State, a team that somehow looks better than they ever have with a brand new coach, with a brand new quarterback that's been there for less than a year, losing all kinds of NFL talent. They look like the best team in the country all year. So it will make the Michigan victory sweeter if they can pull it off. But I'm going to tell you what now, Jim Harbaugh, Josh Gattis, 2 loyal viewers, put this on your bulletin board, print this video out and hand it to your players and let them watch it. Michigan's not going to beat Ohio State, okay? You see this? Michigan's not going to beat Ohio State. There's no way Michigan beats Ohio State. As a matter of fact, I am scared for John Runyon. I am scared for some of the Michigan linebackers, defensive linemen, for their health. I don't think Michigan should even play the game because they don't even want to compete with Ohio State. They're not even in the same league. You get me? You get me? No chance of beating the Buckeyes. So don't even show up at the game. Boycott this. Just forfeit the game, Michigan, because you have no chance against Ohio State. So I want to know of you guys here. Do you agree with me that Michigan shouldn't even show up at the game? How many points will Ohio State score against Michigan 8 days from now on November 30th in the Big House in Ann Arbor? Type O for over 35, U for, I guess, O for 35 O plus, U for under 35. And you might be saying, 35 is the over-under? Well, that's much less than the amount of points they've averaged against Jim Harbaugh over the past several years. So type O or U below in the comment section. Guys, you may have seen it on social media earlier. I tweeted it out, put it on the Instagram page. There are some great deals you guys have got to take advantage of right now. Chatsports.com/blue1 gets 50% off this Michigan jacket. And it's not the only thing that's on sale right now. This big-time Block M Michigan football t-shirt, only $15, 50% off, folks. There's a ton of items. Jackets, t-shirts, hats, pants, some slippers, 50% off. You want to get a little gift for the lady in your life? This hoodie, woman's hoodie, is for sale there. Chatsports.com/blue1 for the jacket, blue3 for the t-shirt, or if you want to see every single sale item, chatsports.com/blue. I'm going to put it below in the comment section, so remember the URL or just go down. It'll be towards the top of the comment section. You'll see it. Click it. Don't get left out in the cold this Christmas season by paying full price. Take advantage of these 50% off deals. Next question coming up from Brandonwoundpickups. These are some interesting names. Huh? I like these names from the YouTube commenters. Thanks so much for the question. Can't wait to see this matchup. Indiana gives them fits every year. Michigan will outlast them, though, like every year. Fair point. Very fair point. We were just talking about, before we went filming, some of the games in this rivalry. You see, 2 years ago, overtime. 4 years ago, 2015, double overtime. How about in 2013, we said? 2013, whereas 62 to 48. I mean, Devin Gardner threw for 580 yards, and Jeremy Gallen had something like 384 yards receiving. Go back to 2010. Denard gets hurt. Tate Forcier is revitalized from the dead, and Michigan beats Indiana 67 to 65 in 2010. So there's been a lot of really great games going back to the early 2000s with, what was the guy's name, Slash from the Steelers? can't remember his name, the wide receiver. Was it? Antoine Randall from the Chat Sports Stats and Research Department behind the scenes. So predict the score, guys. You saw the jacket there, right? You saw the jacket that's 50% off. So I'm trying to hook you guys up, but also not spend all my cash here too. I've got Christmas presents to buy. This is the jacket here that they just put up on screen. First person to predict the score, Michigan, Indiana, and you've got to tell us who the winner is, of course. Don't just put a score with no winner. You will win the Michigan jacket. We hooked up a viewer a couple weeks ago who got the score right, Michigan, Maryland, with $25. Now, the winner of this one, first person to predict the score, Michigan football jacket. A little Christmas present from me to you. And here's the matchup you're going to be predicting. 9.5-point favorites are the Michigan Wolverines. It started at an 8-point favorite. Some places had 7, 7.5. 8 is the official service we use. Now up to 9.5. So some of the early bets coming in on Michigan over under 53.5. And by the way, on the Action Network, you guys have heard about them before. Chatsports.com/deal for 40% off the Action Network. It's like 95% of the people taking the over in this game, so they think some points are going to get put up in this one. So that is the betting matchup for Michigan and Indiana. Predict the score below, and if you think you really know what the score is going to be, go put some money on, the Wolverines. Michigan 6-1 against the spread since they lost to Wisconsin. So they have been one of the surest thing in all of sports betting since that September 21st blowout loss. BetDSI is where we place our bets. Promo code GoBlue, 120% deposit bonus. Chatsports.com/bet gets you the 120% deposit bonus with promo code GoBlue on BetDSI. Play now. Use that promo code to get hooked up with the best promotion in the sports gambling world. How about DPJ, Nico, and Tarik? Have you heard anything about who's leaving? I've heard a lot of things, right? I think there is as much fake news out there as there is actual inside sources about these three wide receivers. But I'm going to go on the record here and say it might not even matter at this point, because I think the offensive style that Michigan has gone to has evolved past these, talents of these wide receivers, because Ronnie Bell is your number one wide receiver, and frankly, you're going to have to make a hard case for him not to be your 2019 team MVP at this point, right? He could explode over these last 3 games and be Michigan's first 1,000-yard receiver in what seems like forever after they went pretty much 15 straight years under the Lloyd Carr era and slightly before that with a 1,000-yard receiver every single year. So if I had to guess, I would put my guesses on Donovan Peoples-Jones is going to be on to the NFL now that he's fully healthy. I think he's shown enough to at least be drafted in the first few rounds. I think Nico Collins goes too. And Tarik Black just hasn't done enough for me to think that he would even get a look from the NFL after this season. Maybe he transfers. I don't think that's crazy to think. I'm not predicting he transfers, but I would put my guesses on that. At least 2 of the guys will be gone, whether it's the NFL, potential transfer. I know they're all 30-year guys, but everyone's creative these days with excuses why you should be given automatic eligibility or can graduate in 3 years. Tarik Black was an early enrollee. He graduates by May. He can enroll somewhere and play instantly, have a couple years of eligibility next season if he goes back and gets a red shirt for the 2017 season. Guys, help us reach our subscriber goal. We are getting close to that 6,000 mark. We got to get there. I'm just told that it's not going to be a very happy Christmas around the Michigan Football Report unless we get to 6,000. So help us out. We told you what the show brings every day. We're not like those bums from the Free Press and the pay sites that just give you press releases rewritten. We actually break news here, have opinions, and have a great community of Michigan football fans below in the comment section. So subscribe today, youtube.com/MichiganTV, or just press the button you see right below this video. Next question coming up from Michael Covrett. It's a guy who should just change his name and just embrace the spelling, like Brett Favre. You just go by Michael Corvette. That'd be a way cooler name. I think, at least. I'm sure you had that nickname in high school, Michael. Has Michigan ever had 2 100-yard wide receivers in a single game? And I'm not lazy. I'm not sitting around doing nothing like Webster over there at 24/7 Sports tweeting out 2 times a week. I did the research, okay, with my time. All right, and here's what I found. It's been 4 years. It's only happened once under Jim Harbaugh, 2015, against the same Indiana Hoosiers. Who could forget Jehu Chesson and Amara Darboh? Chesson, 4 touchdowns, 207 yards in that double overtime victory over the Indiana Hoosiers. But how about this one, folks? It's happened 15 times in Michigan football history, and I wasn't surprised by this. When Michigan's historically thrown and had to put up big yards in the second half through the air, it's usually when they're in close games or coming back from a double-digit deficit. And so 5-10 in those 15 games all time. We had 200-yard wide receivers. I've got the list for you right here. First time it happened, 1982, Anthony Carter and Craig Dunaway, maybe Rick's father. So, Rick, I know you're watching. You should answer that one. Could be your dad. That's why you're such a passionate Michigan fan. And then it was 1995, it happened, 98, twice Notre Dame and Ohio State, 2000 Auburn, Northwestern, 2002 a couple times. And then 2010 it happened against Illinois and Indiana, and then 5 years later. So the last 2 times it's happened in Michigan is against the Indiana Hoosiers. I doubt we see it, though, against the Indiana in 2019. How about Nate Kingston answering this question? And I had to really rack my brain about this one, Nate. And he says, do you think Nebraska is a rival too? And I said, no, Michigan did play him in 2011, 2012, 2013. So is Nebraska, are they a rival? And then last year, of course, Michigan beat them with 52-3 or whatever it was. So here's my answer. No, they are not a rival, and it shouldn't even be. The stats and research team, their ears just got blown out there from me yelling that, so apologize to them. But no, Nebraska's not a rival. I couldn't care less if Michigan ever plays Nebraska in the history of the program again, although starting in 2021, they'll play in like 5 or 6 straight years, which is kind of ridiculous that the Big Ten can't just do it like a 2-on, 2-off, 2-on, 3-off. But nevertheless, no, Nebraska's not a rival at all. Ohio State, Michigan State, Notre Dame, and you might want to say Minnesota, though. Who the hell really cares about Minnesota? Before we go, though, remind you one more time, chatsports.com/blue. Get you 50% off. I don't know when it's going to end, so don't wait. Go now. Screenshot this if you have to. Pause the video. Come back later if you want. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, pants, all kinds of gear. Dropped you right on the sale page for you there. Awesome sale they've got going on. Pre-Thanksgiving sale on Michigan football gear. Thanks so much for watching the Michigan Football Report. To our new users, make sure you hit this big subscribe button right here so you never miss a video from the Michigan Football Report. And while you're waiting for the game, I got a couple more Michigan football videos for you right here to keep those blue bloods flowing. Go Blue.